does it sometimes feel as if we get something new introduced into The Sims 4 and then like a few months down the line they kind of just forget about it or decide that they never want to go back to it, they never update it? I've given my feedback on that when it comes to scenarios. I know they weren't everyone's favorites, but they were quite enjoyable, especially when they made them more into like storylines that you could play out. Obviously, Sentiments is one of my personal ones that I wish they would go back to and would sort out. It also seems to happen when it comes to the news surrounding The Sims 4. They always seem to swap and change like how they give news, where they give news. Most recently, it felt like a lot of that has been done over on their Discord. They do still post like the significant updates to Twitter, and that's what we got yesterday. Today, we're sharing the steps we're taking to double our efforts, ensuring Simmers have the best experience possible with The Sims 4. Now, is this surprising? No. They keep saying to us, Sims 5 isn't happening, Project Rene isn't The Sims 5, and so a lot of people have drawn the assumption that The Sims 4 is just going to continue for as long as they can possibly make it continue, which is a scary thought considering how many issues The Sims 4 currently has, but it makes sense that they're wanting to like focus on the base game and actually make it way more playable, which like I'm never going to dog on them for opening up communication. I always feel like we need more communication. I would prefer it honestly when things have started to like slow down and like why things have started to slow down, rather than them just announcing a new thing, which is it really that new when you said that this was going to happen last year? Which Daniel actually said. You said this last year as well and then stopped for some reason. That was in May of 2024. We know that technical issues in The Sims 4 have interrupted your gameplay over time. We recognize it's caused much frustration. We can share we assembled team to invest in the core game experience. Like I said, it feels like that started off really, really strong with like monthly laundry lists and actually quite big laundry lists. And then over the last 12 months, they've gone smaller and smaller and like dwindled more and more. The Sims have responded, whilst we resolved a number of issues, we are aware more work needs to be done. So we're doubling our efforts, which is that adding more people into like the QA. I personally feel that's where time and energy and effort is needed before new packs come out, before new content is released. There has been a rumor swirling around that they are going to like stop producing packs as heavily after Adventure Awaits, and they're actually going to put like new content on hold to fix said issues in the game, which obviously I am gonna wait and see if the proof is in the pudding on that one. But they also said, please report and upvote the issues that matter most to you. Your participation directly shapes the future, which again, a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about, because people have said, well, this just means that the stuff that is being talked about online and has like creators talking about it are probably gonna be like the most popular ones, which I don't think has ever not been the case. However, it does feel like there is an unfair advantage for the upvote system. I don't know honestly how they could do it another way. Like, upvoting does make sense, like the more reports they have on it, but that's the thing, I feel like it shouldn't go off like upvotes. Although upvotes are quite easy to do, you don't actually have to post about how it is affecting your game. All you have to do is like click a button like, hey, I'm facing these issues too, and they know the amount of people that are facing them. But I do also wish that they would focus on severity as well, not just whichever ones have the most upvotes, because sometimes there could be like such a small issue that doesn't really affect the game that much, and because it is getting talked about, because it has a lot of upvotes, that's gonna have a fix before something that ultimately is kind of changing the way that you play your game and is having a negative effect. I don't know. I would personally love to hear your thoughts of how you think they could go about addressing these issues that isn't based on upvotes, if you are one of the people who do feel as if it is unfair. I mean, I even have my own frustrations with that because I play in CreatorSim a lot and not a lot of people do. So whenever I have an issue in CreatorSim, I feel like CreatorSim issues just don't get upvoted that much because not a lot of people like care about CreatorSim. For example, that when you click on like the accessories, only the top option like menu opens up and now you have to go through all of them individually, which also means that copying over is technically broken, even though that was like an update that we got like what, maybe earlier this year or late last year. Whereas when you click that like general accessories, it all used to open and you could copy and paste like everything. That happens with accessories and makeup both within CreatorSim, and also the fact that fairy faces look completely different between the human form and the fairy form. And I just feel like a lot of people like haven't picked up Enchanted by Nature or aren't really that fussed by it, or maybe haven't even noticed that in their game, and I'm just like, okay, cool, now I feel like it will never ever get fixed, even though it's so annoying to me personally. And I know that's very like me, but I do think that has an effect on how they're gonna focus on these. So I would just love to hear your thoughts on how you think they should focus on stuff. Like, should it be the severity? But then again, severity is like all in judgment of how you play. Enough yapping though, let's actually check out the blog post that they put up, because again, that did have some more communication. Our top priority is to provide fun, positive experience for all players. We see your feedback on technical issues, game performance. We want to assure you that your concerns are heard. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. I just think whilst bugs and glitches in game performance are so important, I also just feel like the generic, like just state of The Sims 4 right now, taking out the bugs and the glitches and the simulation lag, etc., just the way that the game is also just so frustrating. And I feel like they're never gonna scrape it back to like the bare bones. They're never gonna look critically at The Sims 4 and be like, you know what, this could interact with this asset and we should make a link between it for those players who maybe have both packs, and we should really go back and like update this system. The refreshes were kind of doing it, but of course they've stopped those because they probably didn't see a return on Spa Day, and it's just frustrating because it's like, I'm all for bugs and glitches and like people actually physically being able to play this game, but also I wish that they would just actually go back and look at like the coding and how the game could be better, because I still believe that this game could be better if they did that. On September the 18th, PC and Mac players will get a base game update. They are pulling forward the original release. There was actually a leaked, I'm fairly sure that EA app leaked it itself. I didn't talk about it at the time, but there was a roadmap and it seems like they've stripped that roadmap and maybe aren't gonna publish it for this quarter, which would probably likely take us up to like the end of December. We know we're getting Adventure Awaits, and it seems like they've taken that away because they needed to play around with the dates. So it's been pulled forward from its originally scheduled launch to allow additional time for us to quickly identify and address any potential issues that may take place across players' various setups and game configurations. That doesn't fill me with confidence for Adventure Awaits and the new systems that it's introducing. Actually, that makes me feel as if they've already noticed issues in Adventure Awaits and are like, we need to put this update out early so that we can then do like emergency patches after that launches. Provide space for mod creators to update their content prior to the launch of Adventure Awaits. I think that is very, very good. They're also going to be releasing the TDESC files in the Sims Discord, so modders, if you need this, I'm fairly sure you probably will, to like know how stuff is gonna affect your mods, Boom, there you go. Definitely keep an eye out for that. I think that is really important, especially after the last update that we got, or like a couple of updates ago, because there's been some emergency patches since then, of the pack disabler, and that affecting script mods very, very heavily, to the point where it was just like not going into live mode, and it was just kicking players back out to like the neighborhood like world menu, which, by the way, if you can't get into live mode right now, most likely it is an outdated mod. So just make sure all your mods are updated, all the usual suspects, MC command center, tool mod, etc, etc, UI cheats, all of that. Console players, it will come out September 23rd, so you'll need to use the PlayStation and Xbox filters in the gallery, just because PC players will be slightly ahead of you for like a couple of days. There is also going to be a laundry list, I'm fairly sure, later, before this video goes up, but later today. So I'm gonna like put in a little bit about the laundry list and like go over it after I've edited what I am currently recording. September 2025, obviously that is right now, but community prioritized fixes, investigating and resolving issues based on votes in the Sims 4 bug report section of EA forums. Player upvotes are crucial in prioritizing fixes. So this is what people are a little annoyed at, because it feels like it's just coming back on the community, where a lot of people are like, well, this game should just like work. And I understand that you need some form of prioritization. However, I just don't think the forums are like the easiest like thing to look at or get around. Like, I get confused by the EA forums, but make sure that you are upvoting issues that you have found. If you then write a report, they can merge it into another report if it already exists. Just make sure you also upvote that one. Know that they are basically sorting by upvotes, and they're the ones that they're going to focus on. So if something has been annoying you, upvote it. Which, by the way, as soon as I notice something going on in my game, I'm going to be on those forums. I don't even like searching for stuff on the forums. I think it's like doesn't lead you to the place that you need to be. I usually just type the glitch that I'm facing into Google. With our commitment to quality and providing a smooth and enjoyable game experience, we'll tackle as many issues as possible based on the top voted issues, starting with a known list of highly upvoted threads on the forums, in addition to save file investigations we previously announced, the for rent glitch. We're looking into top voted issues in under investigation and needs info. So needs info is more where you like have to kind of context, or they're looking for like save files that could be affected and you actually have to upload those save files, which they do get into. No promotions, getting raises instead. I mean, this has 13k views. That's the thing. I think they could also go off like views as well, because I think obviously more eyes on it means that more people are looking at it. I don't think that it should solely be upvotes. October 25, monitoring and addressing fixes, completing compliance tests across platforms and multiple levels of quality verification for the Adventure Awaits expansion, including playtesting with Sims Team and a paid group of experienced Sims players. On October 2nd, Adventure Awaits will be released. Monitoring will continue through EA forums to ensure any unforeseen issues are fixed in a timely manner. November 4th, mark your calendars. This will be a big day. Fix based on your feedback. The update will also include some new free content for all players. Ongoing work. We're aware of issues impacting your play experiences, and your voices matter, whether it's gameplay, create a sim, or just a visual bug. Utilizing EA forums, casting your votes will directly shape our future to The Sims. So top votes. Share your issue. If you have an issue with Sims 4, take a few minutes to visit forums, see if a report thread already exists. I would personally just Google that. I always think I've had a better experience finding it on Google than I actually have over on the forums. If you're unsure, then you can create a new report, and then one of the mods over there will merge it into an existing one if it does already exist. So if you can't find it, don't worry. Just like type it out and someone will merge it for you. If you're still experiencing an issue that is marked as fixed, please create a new report. If you're experiencing an issue marked as more information, we've been unable to make progress or replicate this issue. Save files with the issue occurring are the most helpful. And they have actually linked how to upload save files to the gallery, which I know a couple of you were asking me about. So I'm going to leave all of these links in my description description down below. This is how you send user files to the Sims 4 team, so you can literally just like follow all of these. And this also exists for Xbox and PlayStation. Unfortunately, I feel like you do just have to share the videos or screenshots and not actually the save files, which is a bit unfortunate on console. There is a version for save files for PS4. I'm assuming that's the same for PS5 as well. They just haven't updated it. Number 1, vote for fixes. If you see a report that matches any issue, click the upvote button. If you created a new report, please upvote the report you created. You're not limited on how many issues you can upvote. Start with the reports that have the most upvotes by the end of September for a November update. So these are going to be a little bit delayed. It feels like they're probably going to focus on Adventure Awaits for the first couple of months until they start seeing like simmers actually upvote stuff. If during the course of investigation we discover an issue is only happening with saves that use mods, we may not be able to resolve that issue. Again, disable your mods, start a new save. If you're still experiencing it in a new save, it's likely it's not a mod issue. If you take out your mods and then your game works the way that you expect it to, it's likely to be a mod issue. And then closer to the base game update in November, we'll publish a special edition of our laundry list, included top voted community issues. I really hope that these are bigger fixes than what we have seen recently. So like I said, there are a couple of new tags. So under investigation is just like the stuff that has yet to be fixed. So you can like browse through these, you can upvote the ones that you're experiencing. You can also obviously type out a response to that. Fresh save updated and repaired, no mods whatsoever. Okay. Whenever I see something like that, I'm like, it's not a mod issue. So let me actually go back to the homepage. I want to search some ones that I am currently seeing. Assets from the first category. Accessories and makeup tabs only show assets from the first category. Both face and body. So I am going to upvote this. It's probably gonna make you sign in, which I'm fairly sure you might just sign in with your EA account. So obviously if you've had an Origin previously, if you have the EA app, I think it will just like log on. God, my internet is being so bad. And I just upvoted that. Yeah, it just uses your EA account. This is the same one that I use like on the gallery, etc. Fairies have missing faces. Oh, there we go. Occult form facial features don't match, I'm assuming that says. Facial features like eyes, chin, and cheeks I place my fairies won't match between my regular and fairy forms. I've spoken about this before in a video. I'm fairly sure, yeah, I've already updated this one, but it currently only has 175, which I don't know, that just doesn't feel like enough. But this is affecting not only fairies, it's also affecting like vampires as well. Then I also had one with the naturopath and not getting promotion if I actually worked from home. Naturopaths and not being promoted. I'm actually finding these a lot easier than I have in the past. Consistently chosen work from home and completed all work from home tasks has not been promoted from level 1 despite the full performance bar. Another modded save, my naturopath got promoted to level 2 whilst working from home, but not at the start of the workday, inconsistent with the other work from home careers. Sims not getting promoted to the top of the naturopath. I actually have to send my sim into work, like go to the office to actually get a promotion. So I am also gonna vote that one. That one has 20 of it. This is the thing, it feels so discouraging. Like, even now, I'm like, what? I've upvoted 3 and this one's like on 20. So I'm like, what's the point? Like, I feel like you physically have to like start a list of stuff either on like your Twitter or like over on Discord, and you now have to like rally people to like test this in their games, seeing if it's replicated, and then start like a whole thing online to be like, hey, I'm facing this issue, like go and upvote this. And I think even for me as a creator, like that's frustrating, and I can only imagine how that feels for like regular players who don't have the platform that I actually have available to me. Like, I can sit here and be like, guys, this is affecting me, so you should go upvote it. But regular Sims players, like players who just play this game for fun or who don't like have a mass following online, they're not going to be able to like get people to upvote this for them. And it's those players that I feel sorry for, because they're probably like wanting to enjoy their game and they're just running into issues. And it's like, great, like this will feel like it's never gonna be fixed. I've already seen, honestly, a couple of simmers. For example, SimVisor has like come together and made a thread of like bug reports for The Sims 4. I'm leaving bug reports so more people can see and upvote, which I think is really, really cool. I think it's cool that the community is like mobilizing together and are like, hey, if you have like issues that you want upvotes on, if you would want to see like maybe this kind of thread from me, then I would be happy to post this and like pin it to my Twitter. I say that my Twitter is one of the least influential right now, so I can't even say if that's actually gonna do anything, but I mean, it's something. It's at least something to have your voice be heard, you know? So in here, we've got ghost horses come back to life in live mode. Oh my god, I shouldn't laugh. Changing residential rentals into regular residentials gives you a landlord for the house you already own. Yeah, that's an annoying one. I've defo had that one. Micro stutters, residential rental neighbors leave unfinished laundry, eyes stay slightly open, copying category for other outfits not working. Shuby. I knew I could count on Shuby. Create a sim legend. Obviously, you've got like all the for rent stuff already posted by Luna Brittany. Day over calls never happen. Many packs and features where cooldowns constantly get restarted. Yeah, I literally don't ever get like calls anymore from Sims. Rimborn trait altering genetics. I know that one has been happening for a long while. I'm shocked that that one hasn't been fixed yet. I'm actually gonna upvote that one because I too have experienced it. Archive thread had around 300 Me Toos. So I wonder if they're maybe also going off like the archive. But why was it archived? Did they say that it was like fixed and then it's not? Now I'm assuming that laundry list may have always worked on upvotes, but I don't know if they've fed us that information before now. This is the laundry list for September, and they said that they're gonna update that new system in November. Top community concerns we're currently investigating, hope to resolve. Only a list of topics with upcoming fixes. There are more topics reported by players that are not listed here and still being worked on. Okay, so these are the ones that they actually have fixes for. So even though, because I was about to do some investigating, I was like, I'm fairly sure some of these listed here probably have less upvotes than like a lot of the other stuff, but they've kind of put it in the terms and conditions. They put it in the fine print. So base game, Sims with entrepreneurial trait experience sudden jumps in career level. Venue info icon in build mode will not stop shining when there's nothing new. Sim writing a book can't resume it properly. Oh my god, thank god. This has been around for years. I'm fairly sure I've had issues with this like since I had my author in my Nightmare Legacy, which was at least 2 years ago. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. Again, I will have a link in the description. My description at this point is just going to be links. I'm going to have the blog post about like how to upvote and stuff first because I feel like that's the most important, and then I'll put like the laundry list. Affecting multiple packs, skill cheats cannot be used to lower skill. Some wall mailboxes appear under misc appliances instead of trash cans and mailboxes. Summon a privy bush interaction not available for vampire and fairy child Sims. Gnome brought to life for upgrades and repairs keeps upgrading toilets with composting container. I say keep it. I know it's a bug, but sometimes bugs create chaos when The Sims 4 refuses to create chaos. I'm here for that one. Nothing about the fairy faces, unfortunately, for me. Child Sims don't show up as ghosts when they die due to overheating and freezing. RIP, literally. Tenant events are resolved as a failure even after the property owner fixes what needed. Again, this has been around literally for me since the beginning of For Rent. That's wild that's taken 2 years to get fixed. I swear there's another issue with like one of the doors or windows that I saw the other day in Greenhouse Haven. I swear it was like it looked black but it was actually white, or the other way around, like it was white in the swatch and then black. Our team continues to investigate other community concerns for future fixes. Some topics can be complicated to replicate and require an extended investigation. That's the thing though, I feel like so many of like the top voted ones ones aren't that difficult to replicate. Like, surely the more people that are upvoting it, the more likely it is to be able to replicate. I cannot believe that I am having like a difficulty with occult faces and not one single developer can like see that in their game. Like, I just think the chances of that are so low when they have like 300, 100 plus upvotes, which I know in like the grand scheme of the Sims community is quite small, but clearly we're all playing on like different components, different PCs, like we all have a different number of save files, etc. And I know that's just like how bugs work and everyone can experience things differently, but it's stressing me out. Anyway, what I'm taking from this is I'm gonna be me tooing, upvoting everything from now on. I'm gonna be like, yep. I'm honestly gonna have the forums up on my second monitor as I'm playing the game. As soon as I notice anything, I'm gonna be like, get me on those forums. I do quite like that they have said that they will start looking at upvotes and not just like the amount of people who have like typed out, because sometimes I don't have the time to like type stuff up and go into the troubleshooting of it all. But again, I still think it has the issues that I've spoken about. Whilst it's good that I think that they are doubling the efforts, I do think like putting it on the players to like upvote stuff does feel a little naff. I feel sorry for people who are like facing stuff that actively like affects their enjoyment of the game, and then it just feels like that it's never ever gonna get fixed. But I of course would love to hear your thoughts on this. Sims team, I appreciate the open communication. I just hope that this actually continues and it doesn't just feel like, hey, we've announced this thing and then, you know, 6 months down the line it's not gonna happen. Also, yeah, I have one of the pimple patches. Never worn one of these, but I have a spot of brewing and it is sore, so I apologize if it's like the only thing that you've looked at for the last like half an hour, but I just want to hear all of your thoughts on this. Also, if there are any bugs that are like affecting you personally, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I don't think you'll be able to post like links to it because YouTube like filters out links a lot of the time to keep obviously you lot safe. But if you tell me the title and I've seen it within my game, I am happy to upvote it for you all and also just like raise awareness in the comments. Thank you all so much for tuning in and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.